Well, now what is this video going to be about today? Hey, well, I see some plumbing pipe over there, and it looks like some 2-inch, some 1.5-inch pipe, and I was just getting done talking about framing, talking about how they built this roof out here. Isn't that, ooh, look at that. That is so awesome. But that's on a different video, okay? Scroll down to how to build a house and check that out. I've got that on my channel, but I'm going to talk about some plumbing here. It's not going to be a very long video, but let's just see here. Looks like there's 2-inch pipe here. See, this is 2-inch and 1.5 inches. I don't see any 3-inch pipe here. In fact, I don't think they're going to need any 3-inch pipe. You know why? Because most of this stuff, well, in fact, you know, I don't know. Maybe they do need a 3-inch for their toilets when they go up out of the wall up to the roof. I think they do, as a matter of fact. We'll just have to see. But most of this is going to be for vents. For vents, the top out plumbing. You've got certain areas where they've got to come out of the wall with some pipes. I'll just show you a little bit. The plumber has been here because he's got things kind of set up. See here, he's got a couple 45-degree angle pieces. He's got a coupling here. Here he's got I call this a Herkel flange. Some people call it something else. Okay, but I've always called it a Herkel flange. Somebody on my channel said, "Hey Joe, how come you call it a Herkel flange? I've never heard anybody call it a Herkel flange." Well, that's what I call it. That's for the toilet. Okay, here's a T and a coupling, and that's for the pipe over there. And you see when they come out of the floor and stuff, that was all for the rough plumbing from before. And they've got some T's here. Here they've got a trap. Adjustable P-trap here. They'll glue. Actually, that won't be an adjustable P-trap. They'll actually glue that section together, and that's going to be for their drain, for their washer and dryer, for their washing machine. And it looks like they're kind of setting up. So they've got this little plastic box here with some things in there, and they'll hook up their plastic pipes, their plastic water lines, their hot and cold water lines. Somebody stepped on that one. And they'll hook up to the bottom there. And then this will be for your washing machine. Here's for hot because it's red, and blue is for the cold water line. And so, and he'll be here. I'm guessing he's going to be here the weekend. Today's Friday, and he's got stuff set out. So I have a feeling he is going to be here. And see, here's another. We'll get you in over here. Here's another Herkel flange that they've got. See here. They take that and they're going to glue it down into the floor there, and that's for their toilet. And in fact, you know, the drain line, or that's for the vent. The toilet is already run with 3-inch, and then it extends with 4-inch, goes all the way underneath the house. And so up above, see, this is a 2-inch pipe. Here's an 1.5-inch pipe. That's probably for a lavatory on the other side of that wall. Okay, so that's what all those other pipes are for. For the lav, they're going to come up, and they'll have a T there, and it will extend out. He'll extend that out, you know, 10 inches or so, and just cap it off. And then after they do the drywall, he'll come back, and then he'll tie in, once his sinks are installed in the cabinets and all that kind of stuff, he'll put the P-traps on and all that kind of stuff. But he has to get the things out of the wall. Okay? And then from there, he's got to extend up his vents. So his vents have to go up. They've got to drill holes to the top plates. And in fact, I see he's drilled this one. Oh man, yeah, I can see it. But anyways, he had to drill that. That's a pretty big hole too. For a drill bit, they use a whole hog drill, and it's got to be big enough to allow for his 2-inch pipe. Not only 2 inches, but his pipe is probably 1/8 and 1/8 would be 2 1/4. Probably that's at least 2 1/4, 2 3/8 hole. And then his vent will go up. Then he's got to extend it all the way up to the roof. And in fact, he's probably going to go across. And then you see there's a hole. There's a hole over there. He's probably going to run his vent right up over to there. So when the plumbers come, they've got to figure out how they're going to locate everything and how they're going to go, because he doesn't really want to go all the way up to the top of the trusses to extend out for his vents if he can possibly help it. Okay, so he'll look at all that kind of stuff and make a determination how he's going to get his vents out of here, and that's what all those pipes are for. And so, see, I see he's got another one right there, and he's got some fittings here, but that's probably for that over there. He's probably going to come up, and then he's probably going to come across and go up there. Now, he's got to have, when you're running your vents, I'm not sure if the vents can be exactly flat. You can't have them extend downhill. I think they still have to slightly go uphill for a vent, or at least flat. See here, he's got 2 1/4. So that's how big he drilled his hole. Look at that. To run this stuff over here, because see, where his pipe is, his vent, he decided not to drill it there. He decided to drill it over here instead. I'm not sure why. He could have drilled up here, and it would have been just slightly off of the truss, but he decided to go over there. Because he did that, he's got to extend it and come across, and then go up here, and then go across over to that hole there. And maybe he figured he'd have just enough height to do that if he got his hole over here instead of there. I don't know. Okay, that's up to the plumber. And so I know the plumber's going to be here, and see, I'm not sure how many vents you can come up. I see there's another hole over here, and I'm not sure how many vent lines you can come up with and tie together before you can go out of the roof. But I see he's got one pipe there. He's also got another pipe over here. That's for a vanity, and it's going to come up. And he's already drilled holes. Here's a hole. Here's a hole. Here's a hole. Oh wow! Look at that. And then he's got to do a tight 90 there. He may have to chop some of that off so that he can go up right there. I'm not quite sure. Oh, he did that because his pipe is right there in that area there. So this will come across, tee in over to this, boom, 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 boom. So when he comes across, these two are going to be connected onto the same vent. But then once you get up in the attic, you might be able to connect two or three pipes up there. I'm not sure what the requirement is. How many vents can you install? Can you hook up together before you go out of a roof jack? I'm just not sure. Okay, I can see he's got more of his stuff all laid out. So I know he's coming this weekend. Okay, just by checking this out, he wouldn't just leave all this stuff here. And see, that's kind of cool too. Lots of times they use straps like this, and they might put a strap across like that and run this pipe out and attach it to there. They didn't used to do stuff like that in the old days. When I was building stuff years ago, we did our own plumbing stuff too. We had to put wood blocks in there, strap it to the blocks and stuff like that. Okay, I can see over here. He's got all of his stuff laid out, and see he's already kind of prepped certain things. See, he's got a hole there, a hole there, a hole there. So I know this one's coming up to go across, and then he's got that one, and then that's going to go straight up. Actually, it's over. Look at that. See where his hole is? It's over. It's not straight up from there. It wasn't straight up because there's a big knot there and there's a truss there. He could have just barely missed that, I think, but for some reason he decided not to. So when this one comes up, he's going to have to offset it a little bit and then tie it in with this to get up there. But those two are going up through one. Let's see. We'll see it. We'll see it when after the plumber's done, and I'll be able to show you, you know, how he's tied in his jacks and all that kind of stuff. His vents. Okay, so that's what all of that piping material is for over there. And I'm not sure if he's drilled any holes over here yet on this side of the house. He's got his Herkel flange setting here for that. And yeah, see, there's no hole drilled up in there just yet. And then he's got some stuff over here. No holes drilled over here just yet. Nothing. So he's still, it's just a work in progress. See? And that's just how it goes. And funny. Listen to that. See there? This floor squeaking right here. And I'm looking. Oh, I see a nail here. I see nails, but for some reason this is squeaking. So hopefully somebody's going to check that out. And, you know, if they don't find it and they get the flooring installed, if it squeaks later, depending what they're going to have on the floor or something, they can always go underneath the house, put some shims under there, put some construction adhesive, something like that, because there's an area underneath the house. And here's the crawl hole right here for that. And I think they're going to leave that in the floor for good. This is a closet, and it's a good place for it, for a crawl hole. And I know there's another crawl hole over that way in another closet, because you've got to get underneath the floor. And it's good to do that. They didn't have enough room. If the floor was up higher off the ground, if you're on a sloping lot, let's say, and if you had enough room for a 4-foot tall door, 3.5 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot door, they might have put a door on the exterior of the house, depending which side it was on, and then you have to put a deadbolt on it and all that kind of stuff, and decide where it's going to be located. Hopefully it's going to be on the back of your house. You don't necessarily want it on the side of your house for people to say, hey, easy way to break into their house, go underneath the floor or whatever. We happen to have one, but it's on the back side in the backyard area, and it goes underneath the house, and that's just fine. You don't want it anywhere else. Had we have not, we could have, you know, they could have put a crawl hole inside the house, and then you have to climb down from there and that kind of thing. So you'll have to decide that on your own, okay? But because this is up, like I was saying, if you get any squeaks in this floor, you can fix them. But what I like to do, I wasn't going to talk about this, but what I like to do is after everything is done, after the electricians are done, after the plumbers are done, or at any time, you know, after the whole floor is all cleaned up and the framers are ready to go, I would walk around and walk on all of the floor joists and just check and make sure and kind of take my weight on there and spring on it a little bit and make sure that nothing squeaks. Make sure I look and verify that everything's been nailed. Make sure that they didn't miss one line of nails, let's say, or anything like that. And you know, when they installed this floor, they installed it and they put construction adhesive underneath each one of these before they nailed it. Now, why is this one squeaking? Maybe it's because it's not nailed off all the way, and the construction adhesive didn't get set properly because it wasn't nailed nice and snug. I don't know. I don't know why that's squeaking, but it's something that hopefully somebody's aware of and they can fix it. Okay, so I think, you know, that's pretty much all I was going to show you, having to do with plumbing. And see how dark it is in here? I mean, it's light. It's light outside, but this is what's this is what's going to happen once you get up most of your framing done, right? And you know, when it rains, oh, trust me, you're still going to get water in here until they get it all dried in. And to get it dried in, you have to have all your windows installed. You have to have your Tyvek paper installed on the outside. You've got to have at least your tar paper and your roofing all installed. Maybe not all your tiles installed, but at least all of that. And that would and your door openings. Maybe this door opening, you don't necessarily have to have it installed, but dried in, meaning all your windows are installed, and yes, you probably should have your sliding glass doors installed, your front door installed, and on your front door you wouldn't put the door that you're going to have here, the double doors that you're going to have here for the house. You would put like construction doors there. Then you would have everything dried in. That's what's called dried in. That way, if it's raining outside, you don't really care, right? Then you can work in here. You can make sure that it's not going to leak in here. The air conditioning guys, if you were with me a long time ago, remember the air conditioning guys, they had installed all their registers in the floor, and they had them disconnected underneath. They didn't tie the last bit in. They put a cap over it because they didn't want to, because when it rains, if you get any water in there, now you get the water down in the ducts. They still got it signed off by the inspector, because the inspector was able to look at it all, and he saw that everything was installed properly, and he may say, okay, yeah, I'll go down through this, and I'll crawl over here to this one, and maybe this one over here, and maybe check one or two other ones. And if you've done a few, I'm gonna make the educated guess that you've installed all the other ones just like this. And then he might sign it off without crawling around through the entire house, underneath the house. You know what I mean? But the air conditioning guy still has to hook all these things up. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's still, yeah. See, I'm feeling my hand down there. They still have not been connected yet, and the elbows. I know the elbows are down there and stuff, and the air conditioning guy, they'll send one guy down there, and he'll have to crawl around with the flashlight, maybe two guys with a trouble light or headlamps on, something. They'll be down there for half the day. So one guy all day to tie everything up and strap all the last ends, cut the links off to fit accordingly, and they're probably all those last fittings are going to have some insulation wrap to put around them, some duct tape to put around them, and to make everything properly connected and insulated properly and all that. And they'll still have to do that. Okay. All right. I guess that's it. Well, let's just go outside into the garage. I don't think he's done anything out there yet. Yeah. See, I know he's got some water lines and stuff. See here's a pipe here in hot and cold water. They're probably going to have a utility sink, is my guess, set right here, coming on here. And then, if you were with me before, right in this area here, he's going to install two tankless water heaters. And my word, there's going to be all kinds of stuff installed on here, and I'm not sure when he installs that. Probably after the drywall gets installed, and then he'll install it over the top of that, is my guess, and mount everything. Here's a drain line for him, and I think that's for him. There's some other pipes in here, but that's for the heating and air conditioning system that's going to set right here, and then he's going to have, I see the electrical lines, two different electrical lines for right here, and they'll probably have two fans, you know, for the air conditioning system. Okay, so a work in progress for sure for everything, but see out here, I don't think the plumber's really doing much over here, water-wise. I don't know. It would have been nice. See, over here, if they're going to have a big, huge, look how big this garage is. And see this big old huge garage roll-up door. They're going to have a big motor home in here. And if I was the owner, I would have wanted probably a utility sink, because they have this nice notched out area. What do you suppose I would put here? A big old workbench, maybe a sink in here for hot and cold water to wash my hands off and stuff. But hey, they ended up not doing that. That's okay. If they want to wash their hands after working on the vehicle here, or working on another car, they'll have to walk over here to this utility sink over here. So good idea to have a utility sink in the garage. Some people don't have a utility sink in the garage. They have one inside, and it's fairly close to a hallway inside where there'd be a utility sink where the washer and dryer are. And I have a feeling they're going to have that too. So I'm not, I think they'll have a utility sink here. It'd probably still be away far enough from here so that a car pulling in here would not hit that. But when you walk in here, they're going to have a washer. They're going to have a washer and dryer in here, and then they'll probably, and I know they're going to have a sink on the end over there. So maybe, they're going to have that kind of like a mudroom type area. And then my guess is they're going to have a utility sink out here too. Always nice to kind of have both. If you can, if you're designing your own house, if you haven't built it yet, hey, that's my advice right there. Well, that's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos. Well, time to go home.